It's finally arrived. We welcome you to the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. Tonight's Eastern Conference quarterfinal match between Louisville City and Detroit City is brought to you by Toyota. Just after Halloween, is it trick or treat? Is this the rare 1-8 upset? Detroit did it just 2 short years ago. Louisville is as good a team as we've ever seen. The winner of this game in the upper right quadrant of the bracket would see either Pittsburgh or Hartford. That game kicked off in the Steel City in the last half hour. Joined by Ricky Lopez.
Going to be a big part of that, the ability to dictate tempo on and off the ball. He can beat you 1v1, he can beat you through combination play. Danny Cruz said he is the MVP of this season in 2025. Expect him to be a big focal point here at Lynn Family Stadium for Lou City.
He is tonight's player profile presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Back-to-back first-team All-League selections. You can expect he will again earn that honor. Meanwhile, for Detroit City, they scuffle into the playoffs in on the last day with help from Indy 11, but they are here for a 4th straight year.
You and I had the ability to speak with Danny Dico, and the #1 word that he said is belief, that we believe that we're going to come into Lynn Family Stadium and advance into the next round. The way that you do that is you need to weather the storm in the first 10 to 15 minutes to get in a rhythm, and that will give this Detroit City side a little bit of foundation.
And if you're to beat Louisville, you're going to have to suffer a bit, but Darren Smith is a really good outlet.
Darren Smith is going to be everything going forward for Detroit City, the ability to drop in and be part of the build-up phase, but also when he does get in behind, he's a ruthless and clinical finisher. His movement can cause some issues for Lou City, so he needs to be the best player in the field if they want to advance.
Can Darren Smith get something past the Golden Glove winning Damian Loss? Can Detroit once again reconjure that magic of a few years ago, and in doing so, cast an unbelievable spell on the 2-time champion Louisville City? Lineups and kickoff are coming up.
Around here, it's all or nothing. That's why your Toyota dealer has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the best-selling Toyota Camry or the stylishly advanced new Corolla. Now get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 Corolla or Camry while supplies last, or lease a new 26 Corolla for $209 a month or a Camry for just $279 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. Get all you need at your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, let's go places.
Fast forward into fall at Brasserie Provence. Southern French comfort food, daily specials, and much more. Unique wine dinners and special events with world-class wine and spirits. Expertly presented and perfectly paired with Chef Patrick Gosden's cuisine. Take a cooking and cocktail class, a wine tasting, or painting class. Enjoy our Friday evening kitchen table experience. Plus, exquisite catering for private events. Call today or make your reservations at brasserie-provence.com.
Commonwealth Credit Union's holiday celebration is back. This holiday season, you can earn not 1, not 2, but 3 points on every dollar you spend when you use My Card to fill up your sleigh. Plus, redeeming points is easy. You can pay with points, check out with points, and fuel with points. So don't miss out on 3 points during our holiday celebration because it all ends December 31st. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Hello, I'm here to remind you to tune into WDRB Mornings, Monday till 10, for your out-the-door local news, weather, and traffic.
Whether you're up at 5 or finally rolling out at 9, we'll still be here. WDRB Mornings is on until 10.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Derby City of Louisville, Kentucky, and the Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Take a look at the starting 11 for Danny Cruz. It's presented by Fifth Third. No surprise, no change.
This team knows exactly who they want to be and their identity for Danny Cruz. They want to get at you. They want to make you very uncomfortable. They want to press you, and it all comes down to that front three. Expect Philip Goodrich to stay as high as he possibly can, allowing Ray Serrano and Jansen Wilson to fill in the gaps underneath.
Only one change for Detroit. It's a big one. Carlos Herrera, injured mid-game last week, finished out that contest, but not available to play tonight. So Carlos Saldana, the hero against Houston in the Open Cup, will get the call. A look at Detroit starting 11.
So defensively is going to be the foundation for Danny Dico. Saldana needs to do a good job at communicating with Amu Mensah, Bryant, and Shane Wheat in front of him to stay compact, allowing Jay Chapman and Ryan Williams to get on the ball and just give this side a little bit of confidence.
And so under the lights we begin with maybe the greatest regular season team of all time. 4 months unbeaten, 16 matches unbeaten. They swept Detroit in the regular year. The playoffs are underway for Detroit City and Louisville City. Two great winning clubs matching up in the 1-8 game. This is the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. You and I chatted with the Dannies, Danny Cruz from Louisville, Danny Dico from Detroit, not to be confused with Danny Stone from Orange County. It is a trio of Danny head coaches in this league. There's the belief element, but I think if you are a casual fan of American soccer, you are at least aware Detroit has that magic to them, that they were able to beat Pittsburgh on the road in the 1-8 game 2 years ago, and you wouldn't really be surprised necessarily if they gave Louisville a real run for their money tonight.
You speak to every single team around USL Championship when they do play against Detroit City. They know it's going to be a dogfight. They know it's going to be a nightmare in terms of the intensity, and that was something that came up in our conversation with Danny Cruz, saying we need to match their intensity and then let our football take over and do all the talking.
This runs out. Danny Cruz, in his 5th season at the helm for Louisville, signed a multi-year extension in December of 2024. It came off a Shield winning season, and he said at the time that is not our ultimate goal. An elusive trophy for Louisville City. They have not won the final since going back-to-back in 2017 and 2018. LaFleur on it now. Closed down by Jansen Wilson. Found Diouf. 6 goals on the campaign for Ates Diouf. LaFleur returns. Diouf went down easily under the hand of Jansen Wilson. And on this rainy night in Kentucky, it is a very early free kick for Detroit.
This left-hand side for Detroit City can cause some issues. Diouf, the ability to go 1v1, it requires so much attention, which allows LaFleur to be more expansive and provide the width. There's a nice little balance that we've seen over the last couple games for Detroit City, and a good opportunity just to test this back line of Lou City.
Greg Dobka, the referee tonight, without the assistance of VAR, as is typical in the championship. Play to the top of the 18. LaFleur crafts a service. Bouncing toward the end line, Bryant allows it out. And unsurprisingly, Devin Amu-Mensah, the player who rose up for the initial header.
Really good box defending there from Lou City. Set pieces, always a big topic, especially in a playoff setting. You have to have the ability to win your individual duels physically and also mentally.
Damian Loss has allowed the fewest goals in the championship on a per-game basis. It earns him the Golden Gloves. Just how good are those gloves on a very rainy night in Louisville? Reese Williams crafting a cross and driven away by Kevin Lambert. Cecile Cedeno. How much does the rain change the dynamic tonight, if at all? It's not new to any of these players.
You need to be a bit more in tune in terms of your first touch needs to be cleaner, and also in the attacking phase of play, if there is a shot on target, you have to have the ability to follow it up. Any sort of spillage can be of concern for any goalkeeper.
It's about a 50% chance of rain through the entirety of the match tonight. It should drop off for a short period over the next hour or so. Wait a minute. It's okay. Here's Chapman. Header skimming through. Dia drives it up. LaFleur. Chapman backheeled along by Williams, driven away from Diouf, and all the way down to Saldana. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Commonwealth Credit Union. To learn more about how we could help you meet your financial goals, visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com.
And just notice when Detroit City is building out how deep, that's a bad giveaway here.
Lambert. It's a bit behind Serrano. He got popped by Bryant. No whistle. You can pick your jaw off the floor now. And Serrano is still arguing that point as he knocks it away from Cedeno. And now those two come to blows.
Every single person in a Lou City jersey feels Ray Serrano was fouled. And a little bit of extra here from Cedeno, just dropping the shoulder, coming through the back. We talk about mentally being tuned in and managing emotions. 6 minutes in, you just see how highly contested this game is going to be.
Detroit is no stranger to instigating a proper rock fight when needed. They are as blue collar gets. And yet, they do play often fairly enticing football. It's not to say that that's their only gear. But they certainly know if they need to muck a game up, how to do it. And Louisville is a very willing participant. Throw for Detroit. Soccer season is here. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Lou City. Get all your Lou City tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Away by Adams. And now Goodrum takes a shot. Who himself, as the instigator gene, very much laminated into his DNA.
Just setting the tone, Michael Bryan is with Philip Goodrum. It's going to be a really interesting battle between two players that have a ton of quality. But one building out of the back, just notice how deep Ryan Williams, AJ Chapman are both sitting and doing that. They bait out Lambert and Taylor Davila, allowing Cedeno and Atis Diouf those little half pockets of space in between lines.
Slide from Tosh. And won a foul off Diouf. Runs back through Jones. Adams. Kept in by McFadden. If you're Louisville, be easy to be a bit unsettled in this moment. Detroit has certainly put their thumbprint squarely on the game in the first 8 minutes.
Been a good start for Detroit City. Very composed, very calm on the ball. And it's been, you see them dictating tempo. Notice how aggressive they are. Only 2 out of the outfield players in their defensive half now. But these are the moments and times that Lou City is just so difficult to break through. They're so compact, they're so willing, and they do everything as a unit.
Shane Wheat, Jay Chapman. Amu Mensah. Knockdown remains with Detroit. If there's one thing you can say about Louisville, last year they scored 86 goals. They had a plus 43 goal difference in 34 games. Diouf, the goal was to not get stymied in the playoffs by 1 goal that goes against. underlying the 41 positive goal difference is the fact that they then conceded 45. This year they allowed just 19, fewest in the championship. It was a focus and one that did come to fruition. The ball swept free of Jansen Wilson, and they hope tonight that can carry them if this game does remain as tightly wound as it has in early minutes.
Danny Cruz wants his side to want them to be on the ball a little bit more within the first 10 minutes, connect some passes higher up the field, regain some real estate, because it's been mostly one-way traffic in favor of the visiting side. It's a good opportunity here just to slow the game down and take the sting out of this action for Detroit City.
Crowd uproariously boos Greg Dopka. This is a very busy weekend for Louisville soccer. Lou City in this conference quarterfinal. They win tonight, they would face the winner of Hartford or Pittsburgh here next week. If Detroit got through, they would go to one of those locales. Then Racing Louisville in the NWSL win and in tomorrow at home. But unfortunately, with the rain, the field's probably going to take quite a kicking tonight. Speaking of water, Danny Dicchio takes a swig, has done a phenomenal job as the Detroit City head coach. He's been asked to have this group take a step offensively, and they've done that insofar as when they've had the weapons. But they have dealt with a number of injury issues this year that ultimately dropped them down to 8th place by the time it was said and done. They're not the biggest roster in the league.
What we've seen for Danny Dicchio in this Detroit City side, there's more of an idea going forward. They're more threatening, they're more composed on the ball. Years past, this Detroit City side was just very direct and just wanted to throw their body around and try to win second duels. But now they have players that want to play in between lines. Danny Dicchio's done a fantastic job at just giving a little bit more going forward for this Detroit side.
And how do you maintain the ethos that Ben Pierman and Trevor James implemented over so many years? Danny Dicchio has had to walk a mighty fine line between modernizing some of the attacking principles while maintaining the grittiness that makes Detroit one of the most difficult teams in the championship to play against week in and week out. It appears he's done that. Adams pops it ahead, Serrano back, Goodrum settles. 7th leading scorer in the championship in the regular year. Goodrum takes it all the way to the end. Ran out of real estate. And he's got some words for Devin Amumensa as well.
Philip Goodrum needs to be a bit more decisive here. Does a really good job at just finding the space, but far too many touches. You need to get rid of this ball right now. But this is fantastic 1v1 defending from Devin Amumensa. Notice how he does not leave his feet. Just throws his body around and just uses the end line almost as a second defender, and a little bit of extra after.
Ricky is a striker. I imagine you watch Goodrum and Amumensa, and that in and of itself, that matchup is worth the price of admission tonight.
Get your popcorn ready. Put your seatbelt on, because these two players wear their hearts on their sleeve. They want to get at you. It's going to be a nice little battle that we've had.
Bryant trampled by Goodrum. And Philip Goodrum's going to need to beware. Bryant's already calling for a yellow card. That's a couple of fouls. And don't forget, this is the first time for so many of these players in 6 months that they've had to worry about the potential for 120 minutes.
Yeah, it's clever for Michael Bryant. He feels the contact, he knows it's coming, and invites Philip Goodrum to engage in any sort of physical activity. He's going to go down. So yes, we talk about the physical strain that this game in the playoff setting is going to provide, but mentally equally as important.
Reese Williams jabs into the back of Jansen Wilson, up in the air from Lambert, knocked away from Darren Smith. This game of hacky sack is wild. Finally, the ground was lava, and Diouf just got tossed into the volcano. Foul from Aiden McFadden.
Lou City feels that as this ball comes in, notice that this Diouf just takes out Lambert. That's a foul. As Lambert continues to go down, a little bit of revenge here from Aiden McFadden. That's a foul as well. Talk about how physical this game has been, not able to get in any sort of rhythm through the first 14 minutes. Very stop and start nature.
and that would definitely be a pro-Detroit outcome.
100%.
Well, let's see if Ryan Williams can help Detroit make the most of it. Williams signed a couple years into the campaign, an incredible goal in the cup set at Houston, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup back in May. Williams leaning header, more than that, leaping into the back of Aiden McFadden. Hey, fans, if Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City has partnered with Penn Station to give you a free sub with the purchase of another. The offer valid the following day after a win. Head to any participating Louisville area Penn Station locations to redeem and say Lou City won at checkout. Use promo code LouBogo25 online. I mean, look, if you're a Detroit City fan and you're sticking around, you're going to hit the Bourbon Trail and it doesn't go your way tonight, are you still going in and taking advantage of that? I don't know the answer.
I'll never turn down a deal.
That's where I'm at. I mean, you can pay full price. It's up to you. Serrano leading down the line. Ball cranked across, seeking Goodrum. Back to Lambert. Pumps the brakes, turns back inside, reverts wide, Serrano sweeps, falls kindly, McFadden, Aiden McFadden. 4 goals on the campaign. Few wingbacks get more liberties than Lou City's.
Danny Cruz requires so much activity from his wingbacks, but this touch right there, unable to get it out of his body from Aiden McFadden. Now he has to lean, he's leaning back, his balance is all off and almost stabs at this ball. That's why it goes up and over the crossbar. But when the ball's on the weak side, always expect the opposite outside back to provide that second post run for Lou City going forward.
Louisville off a 1-0 win against an ascendant Hartford side who would have won a home playoff game had they won that match. Louisville one loss all year. It was in June to North Carolina. Louisville second meeting with Detroit in the playoffs, 4th in a knockout game. Threw in penalties twice in the Open Cup, and they won the previous meeting a few years ago. It was after the 1-8 upset of Pittsburgh that Detroit went down to Louisville City in the second round. Josh Jones could hit the penalty mark from this spot. Jones left it short. Goes Dia. Ladle it back to Taylor Davila.
Really good work there from Amadou Dia, not allowing Cedeno to turn.
Wilson leading Goodrum. Goodrum sneaks inside. Goodrum across. Stabbed at. Not nearly enough for McFadden. Wilson intervenes, falls to Davila. Finalist for the Player of the Year last year. Very well could win it this year. Just did sneak by him now. Cedeno pirouettes into space and launches long. A familiar sight seeking Smith. He leads on Yamazaki.
If you have the ability to break that initial line of pressure for Detroit City, the whole field will start to open up. The last thing Danny Cruz wants to have happen is have his back three exposed. Going against Darren Smith, Yamazaki, Cedeno running underneath. So the coverage and also stepping, being really aggressive with Josh Jones, Cal Adams, and Sean Tosh is going to be important in squeezing the game.
Adams captained the side most of this year. Tosh, league record 300th appearance in the final regular season game. And then Josh Jones, the rookie out of the University of Louisville. This another foul from Goodrum, who's probably angling toward a yellow for persistent infringement.
Needs to be careful. Philip Goodrum, no need. Michael Bryant's facing towards the corner flag. Do not create any contact. You have to be very smart mentally, walking an extremely thin line for the manager of this game, Philip Goodrum is.
Hammer drives it ahead. Bryant puts out the fire again. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, so download now. McFadden, Tosh. Goodrum felt he had suffered a foul, but he was offside in the lead-up. He and Bryant appear to be the pair that are shadowing one another tonight. Not necessarily the Amu Mensah and Goodrum experience we thought we could see.
Started this play beyond this back line of Detroit City, and then he comes onside. Philip Goodrum does. It's a good call from Greg Dopka and his crew. Just see how aggressive this back three is being of Detroit City, staying like for like with Philip Goodrum.
Williams, pounded for by LaFleur, came in on loan from Philadelphia, driven into space. Amu Mensah.
Danny Cruz very animated in this technical area, wanting his side to press, gain some real estate, and just keep this game in this half of the field. It's exactly what Lou City does extremely well. Continue to press you, make you uncomfortable. Starting to get himself into this game, and as well as this side in a rhythm.
Josh Jones attempting to get this ball somewhat long throwable. Under a persistent, nagging rain. Jones, attempt to flick that on. Skids out to Taylor Davila. Kenny Cruz said, yeah, 13 goal contributions, but we don't have 13 clean sheets without him either. The most well-rounded central midfielder in the championship by his estimation. Positive step off the back line by veteran Amadou Dia.
Flawless positioning from Dia there. Talking to Danny Cruz as well, I asked him, what's the biggest key to be successful in this game? He said we need to limit transition moments. We've done that, and you have to be very good at set pieces with how physically dominant this Detroit City side is. So once they do turn Lou City over, their first pass needs to be forward, and they need to connect it.
Wilson, that's denied. Jansen Wilson, 12 goal contributions. He had 9 goals a year ago. The former high school Kentucky Player of the Year at Elizabethtown, which, to be fair, sounds like a 9th Division English club. Probably competes at about a 9th Division English club's level, to be honest.
How good has Jansen Wilson been since he's signed for Lou City? We've seen him play numerous of positions, right wing back, playing higher. Danny Cruz has done a fantastic job in terms of his development, getting the best out of Jansen Wilson.
Guys like him, Josh Jones, it's so easy to claim development victories on Josh and Elijah Winder, right? And young players that have come through the academy or that you've swiped off other academies. Wilson hammers the cross, runs by Yamazaki. I think what makes Louisville and Detroit so great, Detroit does a great job with MLS Next Pro and USL League One guys primarily, and developing them along with the guys who've been in their system for a long time and a couple add-ons throughout the championship. Whereas when you look at Louisville City, yes, they typically get to choose from maybe a higher income threshold, but every player who comes here does walk away feeling that they've gotten better, or they remain here and play at a high level.
And we talk about the records, we talk about the points per game, the goals against for Lou City, but it's been so impressive especially under Danny Cruz, the development of players individually to get the best out of every single one of the players. You look at a Josh Jones coming in, what he's been able to do and solidify himself as a starter within this back line. A player like Jansen Wilson, we've talked about him playing numerous of different positions, coming in and quite frankly didn't know what to expect. And the production that he's been able to provide in the attacking third, it's just been so impressive. Again, a bit of a head scratcher from every single player in a Lou City jersey.
It looked like Louisville had won the ball cleanly. It hit off Greg Dopka, and then if you're Danny Cruz, you're going, wouldn't that be a drop ball for us?
I tend to agree with Danny Cruz here. There's nothing in this whatsoever. Seem to win this ball cleanly in their attacking phase of play. I think Detroit get away with one here.
And Louisville's counter pressing is the boa constrictor of the championship. Diouf. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. Flick on from Lambert, was an all-league player in Phoenix, fell to Davila, was an all-league player at Rio Grande Valley, to Tosh, who was an all-league player in Rochester. Chapman. Well, dulcet tones are much easier to make out in a stadium that's a bit hushed on a night in which the rain is falling, and a pseudo playoff game tomorrow in the NWSL will take some attention as well. Seemed a good step from Tosh. The tough thing to me about where we're at right now from an officiating standpoint, if you're Greg Dopka, you don't want to be giving a yellow too early and then having to give one later, knocks a guy out of the game, completely blows up a playoff match after 30 games to get to this point. But you also don't want it to get out of hand this early.
To find that balance. But what we've seen through 27 minutes here is just trying to find that level of consistency of what's a foul, what's not a foul, and that's where you start to see players starting to get a little bit frustrating. Danny Cruz having conversation with the fourth, saying why you're calling it here and you didn't call it there. That is when you get those conversations that emotions start to boil over, because not really finding that fine line of what is a foul versus what isn't.
Serrano ran out of real estate. This game corresponds, this 1-8 affair, with the 4-5 matchup in the East. Pittsburgh and Hartford make it a good two-screen viewing experience. It is similarly 0-0 in Pittsburgh. That game airing on ESPN+.
Clash of two styles there as well.
100%.
Pittsburgh rounds defensively organized versus a Hartford athletic side that is just wants to be as expansive as they possibly can, get at you. Very vertical, intriguing matchup.
And you have to say, the way both of them finished is a player got erased and Davila picks the ball up, almost surprised play continued. Two of the highest performing teams in the championship in the back half of the season. Mensah trying to take this off of Goodrum. Tosh went down, fair challenge by Diouf. And Jones got popped.
And Cruz definitely thinks that Diouf comes in and catches Sean Tosh there. On that level, it does look like he takes out his right foot. And as Josh Jones comes in, it's the undercut that gets Diouf in trouble and gives Taylor Davila the opportunity to whip this ball into a dangerous area.
A fifth-third free kick, the cusp of the attacking third for Louisville. Davila sought Jones. Hamazaki further, Serrano surrounds. Serrano dazzling, sending service that Amu Mensah sends high. Jansen Wilson, he's got a cannon of a foot, sees this blocked. Dia still half an hour in. It's a fairly impressive effort by Jones to keep it at all, but it's directly to Detroit's transition. Williams has to turn away.
He's been really good, Ryan Williams has, for Detroit City in the center of the park. Understanding what is needed at the right time. Players in that situation will continue to progress and try to make something out of nothing. Puts his foot on it. Now notice all 10 outfield players really aggressive in their positioning for Detroit City.
LaFleur, a jagged run through. Isaiah LaFleur cuts it back and fires. Deflects en route to Damian Loss. LaFleur coming off his first championship goal last week.
Billy to go 1v1, but notice this little step over and how much space it opens. Sends Taylor Davila packing. You have an opportunity to pull the trigger right there. But as you come across, now you need to sweat this ball to your teammates, the right side of your screen. You have a numerical advantage on the second post. The window closed down, but what a flash of individual brilliance from LaFleur.
Wilson falls to Amu Mensah, trickling cross. Siphoned off. Davila! Up and over by Saldana. Davila sending a whistling, knuckling shot that Saldana puts up over the bar.
Love the aggressive nature here from Taylor Davila. No pressure on the ball. Take your second touch out of your body and just hits it so pure. That thing is moving. How clean he hits this ball. No nonsense goalkeeping from Saldana. Does not even attempt to catch it, just push it up and over.
Davila, former Galaxy Academy player, got a game in the championship back in 2018 before commencing a career at Cal. His younger brother, Evan, would follow a few years later. Be a Wi-Fi corner for Louisville, and the discussion continues. Lambert, Jones, but especially Tosh are your best targets on sets. Service toward that front post. Pop back, launched over the box. Saldana is there. By the way, Detroit coming off, I mentioned the LaFleur goal against Tampa Bay, a 1-1 draw in St. Pete. It eliminated the Rowdies, but left their fate in the hands of Orange County. If Indy 11 had won in Orange County, OC would be out in the West, Indy would have been in, and Detroit would be home right now. Instead, Orange County handles their business with a 2-1 win, take the 7th seed in the championship's Western Conference. And Danny Dicchio said, yeah, I sent Danny Stone a thank you text when that game was over. And Orange County saw some of the sting out of it because another result had been in their favor elsewhere, so a draw would have been enough, and they ended up getting the winner late and taking the sting out of it for them.
For a neutral, decision day was
awesome.
Everything you wanted.
Stretching ball out to Darren Smith. Lays it off to Diouf. That's a corner.
Just needs to be cleaner here from Darren Smith. Does a good job at recognizing the space. Kyle Adams really aggressive with Cedeno. But as you stand up Sean Tosh, just too much pace in this ball to Diouf. Makes it really difficult to make a clean first touch. As he's running full speed, you need to take a little bit off of it. Also, Diouf needs to recognize that it's 1v1, so he needs to stay away and let Darren Smith just go at Sean Tosh.
Ryan Williams, without an assist on this season, was with the club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amu Mensah. Devin Amu Mensah scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning! And of all the players you would have bet on for Detroit City, the face of the franchise, the road support loves it. Detroit's ahead.
Set pieces, so important in a playoff setting, but you have to give credit to Jay Chapman. Understands that as he's this far away, he's not going to beat Damian Loster. He just needs to help it on. And it comes down to Devin Amumensa eluding his individual marker and simply just crashing towards that second post. Great first half for Detroit City, and through the 35 minutes here, take the lead at Stun Lynn Family Stadium.
I ask every single coach going into a 120-minute game, how does availability affect how you utilize players in a potential 120-minute game? Danny Dicchio quickly corrected me and said, we're planning for the best available 11 to get the result we need in 90. And Detroit City is ahead here on the road in Kentucky, trying to do the unthinkable twice in 3 years. Defeat the Shield winner in the first round of the playoffs as an 8 seed.
It sets up this game to be that much more intriguing now that Lou City needs to step out. They need to be a little bit more aggressive and overextend themselves. That can leave themselves vulnerable going back the other way in transitional moments. So finding the balance for Danny Cruz and this back line is going to be utmost important to not let it get out of hand here.
Detroit has gotten a positive result, which is to say a point, in 9 of 15 regular season road games. Louisville is undefeated at home this season. The 8-1 upset, and the nature of the playoffs have changed. First, there were no conferences, the league grew, then there were, then there's up to 10 teams because you've got play-ins, and a time where you only had 6 teams make the playoffs and the first team got a bye. And point being, 1-8 has occurred. 14, Harrisburg over. The Orlando team who Louisville just knocked out their points per game record. 2016, Orange County did it over Sacramento. 2017, Sacramento did it to Real Monarchs. 2021, it was a 10 seed against a 2 seed, Oakland and El Paso. And then in 2023, Detroit over Pittsburgh. The Dominic Gasso goal falls to Serrano. Stoppage time, Academy player. I mean, if there was a moment that encapsulated Detroit's time in the championship, goodness, that has to be it.
And it was a phenomenal strike as well from Gasso. Outside the 18-yard box, just puts his right foot through it. Fantastic technique.
Adams. Davila. Crafting service, Williams the denial. Keep watching all the exciting postseason action. The USL playoffs presented by Terminix continue through November. Top teams battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLChampionship.com for all the latest playoff information.
Just notice all 11 players within 40 yards of their defending goal for Detroit City, so the tempo needs to be a bit quicker for the boys in purple. You also need more movement, and I talk about movement in terms of the selflessness. Pull players out of position, make those runs towards corner flags to open up gaps. It also needs to be a bit cleaner when trying to play out of the back. Very uncharacteristic-like for Lou City.
And if you're Detroit, Louisville was saying sets and transition. To a certain extent, going up a goal actually extenuates the ability of Detroit to utilize both of those things. And of course, they got the goal on the set piece.
You and I have the ability to speak with Danny Cruz throughout the course of this year, and you know he's going to be very animated, very motivated, and give this side a clear message at halftime saying it's just not up to the standard the way that you conceded that goal. Not really generate or put pressure on Saldana.
Does that change now? Service launched, McFadden late arriving. Appeared to catch the player as he flew by. Diouf here, and it's a very late whistle.
Talked about it earlier. Once this ball is on the weak side, the secondary outside back needs to crash towards the second post. LaFleur does a good job in terms of his positioning, and notice how he heads it up and away as Aiden McFadden comes in. Really soft contact. Does clip LaFleur, but still inconsistency there from Greg Dopka. Really frustrating Lou City here.
Serenading song for the man in green. Adams launches himself like a missile to send this back to Loss. And this is the nightmare scenario that Danny Cruz played out at the beginning of the season. You allow one moment to define what otherwise was a phenomenal year. Detroit has the potential for that moment to have occurred just a few short moments ago. Slipped ahead. Wilson angles back.
Good ball in from Sean Tosh. Aiden McFadden provides a width that opens up the passing lane for Jansen Wilson. We talk about Ryan Williams, what he's meant defensively for Detroit City. Phenomenal job at retreating and cutting out this cutback ball.
It'll be Jones. Lofting. Detroit deals with the first effort, and Dia will recirculate through Damian Loss. Davila. Elsewhere, North Carolina and Loudoun playing back-to-back weeks. North Carolina's grabbed the lead on Loudoun at home. They met a week ago. The winner of that game was going to get a home playoff game. Ended up getting it against the team they beat to get it in the first place. They score inside 10 minutes of play. Olex Anderson in the 6th. That is on the opposite side of the bracket.
It's the right side of your screen. Not enough movement and verticality from Lou City. No one's threading in behind. Everything has been in front of this back five of Detroit City.
Lambert won it back.
Good run.
Lambert, edge of the area, got usurped. Play on. Wheat. A throw to Detroit. Quick look at what's occurring elsewhere here tonight. Pittsburgh and Hartford is the 4-5 game in the Steel City. You can watch it on ESPN+. It is scoreless at the moment. Hartford, winner of the Jägermeister Cup just about a month ago. And Pittsburgh has their eyes on a trip back to Louisville or hosting Detroit a week from now. Ball served across. Menso away, the goal scorer in the 34th minute. Tosh. Hammers service. Away from Lambert. Smith dropping deep. What's it going to take for a yellow card tonight? Yamazaki took quite the tumble.
Has all the makings for a yellow card. This challenge here from Amadou Dia comes through the back of Yamazaki. As this ball comes in, notice how he comes through, doesn't even make contact with the ball. But to be fair, Yamazaki's already jumping as Dia comes in. Right in front of Greg Dopka again. Very physical affair that we've had here.
When we spoke with Danny Cruz, one thing that stood out to me, I asked, how do you go about, as I mentioned with Danny Dicchio, a potential 120-minute game? He goes, well, the biggest thing is if I'm dissatisfied going into halftime, and he's absolutely right about this, maybe Pittsburgh is in a similar realm, I'll make changes if I don't like what I see. But you also have to be aware that you could potentially play another 75 minutes out of halftime if you're able to find an equalizer and take this to extra time anyways. So the extent to which he'd want to make changes out of the break, or maybe just see if he can take some of the wallpaper off and see if that has the desired effect.
It's going to be really interesting, this halftime talk for Danny Cruz, if this scoreline stays intact, because expect in the second half Detroit City to be a lot more defensively. Expect them to be very compact, their lines very together, and just try to make this game a dogfight and just bait those cities to play into. So in doing that, now you need players that, number one, have the mobility to run in behind, but also very comfortable with the ball at your feet in tight spaces. A player that can come in and provide that impact. Adrian Perez, I think he can be the first player off the bench for Danny Cruz.
Stoppage time presented by Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. We've gone the minute. The Youth goes down. This is the kind of night that lives in a kit man's nightmares. And the halftime whistle has arrived. 1-0 Detroit at the half. On a rainy night in Louisville, Kentucky, could lightning strike twice for Detroit City in a 3-year span? A rarity, and yet Detroit, they arrived with belief, even if it didn't exist outside their walls. It is Amu Mensah with the go-ahead. Detroit with the advantage. We'll look around the league when we come back.
Commonwealth Credit Union's holiday celebration is back. This holiday season, you can earn not 1, not 2, but 3 points on every dollar you spend when you use my card to fill up your sleigh. Plus, redeeming points is easy. You can pay with points, check out with points, and fuel with points. So don't miss out on 3 points during our holiday celebration, because it all ends December 31st. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
For 20 years, Louisville Metro Police Foundation has been supporting Louisville's officers and their families when they need it the most. Join WDRB in supporting those who protect and serve by joining the Officer in Distress Fund, providing officers like Nick Wilt with the needed funds and support throughout the recovery journey.
A $100 ticket enters you to win a 2025 Lincoln Nautilus or $40,000 cash. Visit lmpf.org to get your ticket.
All right, welcome everybody to Lynn Family Stadium. Great to have you all here.
Mike, the team is going to be so good this year. I swear, it's like the goalkeeper can predict the future. You mean him?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, what was that again?
See, I told you.
Candace is watching Louisville City. Are you? Stream every match on WDRB+.
Wrap up your day with the latest from around the community.
Start your evening with WDRB News at 5.
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealer has all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way, including more all-wheel drive choices, like the family favorite Toyota Highlander or the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Both are built right here in the USA. Now, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Get all you need at your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, let's go places.
What does it mean to be worth your weight in gold? Devin Amu Mensah's goal could very well fit the description. Detroit City, a 1-0 advantage over Louisville in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. What else is golden? Well, the Golden Boot, of course. Oakland's Peter Wilson taking the award this year.
In the 53rd minute of Charleston Battery's final regular season match, Cal Jennings' aggressive play earned a penalty kick.
Jennings puts it away.
And at that moment, Jennings joined Oakland's Peter Wilson atop the USL Championship Golden Boot race with 17 goals. Later that night on the West Coast, it was Wilson's turn to provide an answer.
Peter Wilson!
Wilson's 18th goal in the game's 19th minute sealed the Golden Boot for the Oakland Roots forward.
I'll be honest, when you hit the field Saturday night, did you already know you were in a tie with Cal Jennings and you had to score a goal?
Yes, I did. But I was confident in myself that I was going to score that goal. It was a little bit of talk before the game, like, okay, guys, I was in the tie in the Golden Boot race, that I just needed one more goal. But at the same time, it was just wait for the right moment, to be honest.
I mean, this stretch, this was 8 games, and I think it's 11 goals in 8 games. So if you take that number, when that streak started, you weren't even a factor in the Golden Boot race. You worked your way up. All the typical names were up there, and all of a sudden, this Peter Wilson guy vaults to the top. I mean, how cool is that to accomplish this goal in that fashion?
It is. It's been amazing. It's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. I've had conversation with my friends and family, even before I started scoring, like what I felt would be a good season. And I was talking to them like, hey, if I could get to 10 goals this season, that would be really good. That would be really good, And they were like, no, you can get more. You can get more. I was like, yeah, but we don't have so many games left, I think it was around goal 15 where I felt like, I'm going to win this Golden Boot race now.
Wilson's tear in the second half of the season outdistances Jennings by a single goal. And Cal's Charleston Battery teammate, M.D. Myers, shares the third highest goal total, 15, with Taylor Calhera of FC Tulsa. And Miami FC's Francisco Bonfiglio finishes up the season with 14 goals, 5th best in the championship.
This week on USL All Access, we cover all the madness that was Decision Day around the USL Championship. Now that we know the bracket, we take a look at the upcoming quarterfinal matches Saturday and Sunday around the championship. Plus, we get a chance to sit down with 2 legends of rowdy lore, Leo Fernandez and Forrest Lasso, hanging up their boots for the last time.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
A pivotal victory! In booking a spot in the playoffs for the first time.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything. double points this fall at Best Western.
Top corner, it's Kelly with the breakthrough for the Charleston Battery.
First cross coming in, the header's down and down!
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way. Now, during Toyota Truck Month, they've got more all-wheel drive choices like the legendary 4Runner, the world-renowned Land Cruiser, the powerful Tundra, or this best-selling 25 Tacoma, which you can get with 2.99 APR financing, or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma for $269 a month. Get your Tacoma now during Toyota Truck Month. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. The fans trying to entertain themselves at halftime on a rainy evening. It is Detroit City ahead of Louisville, the 8 seed leading the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship and beyond. They are presented by Best Western. You've covered so many Oakland games, seen Peter Wilson attain the Golden Boot, quite a moment.
Just so impressive what Peter Wilson's been able to do in the second half of the season. His movement, his timing really flourished for the Oakland Roots, unable to make it to the playoff. Damien Loss talked about him being the Golden Glove, and Aiden Quinn had a fantastic season for Indy 11, continues to get better and better as he gets older and older.
Yep, and meanwhile the Iron Men, Sean Suber in Pittsburgh, and then Elias Gartig under 2 different managers in Las Vegas, the 2 outfield players to feature every minute of all 30 games. Here are the out-of-town scores that are currently active. Mention Olex Anderson scores in the 6th minute. And Ricky, Pittsburgh is currently tied at home 0-0 in the 63rd minute.
Surprised?
No.
What if ending that game will be, because you know Brendan Berg and Hartford Athletic are going to try to continue to make that a track race. That team had done a great job leading into the playoffs, same as Pittsburgh Riverhounds, sets up for an intriguing finish.
There are still 3 more games to be played tonight in the Western Conference playoffs. Reigning champion against the Western winner, Tulsa and Colorado Springs. And then in the late windows, New Mexico, San Antonio, El Paso, and Phoenix.
New Mexico, San Antonio is a really interesting game. Obviously, what Dennis Sanchez has been able to do with New Mexico against a very well-worked San Antonio side in terms of the experience. But FC Tulsa just played the Switchbacks last game of the regular season, nailed them 3-0. That's going to be an intriguing game as well.
And then tomorrow, the 2025 USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix continue on CBS Sports Network. Charleston and Rhode Island at 2 p.m. Eastern as the Eastern Conference last 2 champions match up. Then Sacramento meet Orange County in a Cali Classico. Coverage begins on CBS Sports Network tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Around here, it's all or nothing. That's why your Toyota dealer has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the best-selling Toyota Camry or the stylishly advanced new Corolla. Now get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 Corolla or Camry while supplies last, or lease a new 26 Corolla for $209 a month, or a Camry for just $279 a month, with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. Get all you need at your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, let's go places. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way. Now, during Toyota Truck Month, they've got more all-wheel drive choices like the legendary 4Runner, the world-renowned Land Cruiser, the powerful Tundra, or this best-selling 25 Tacoma, which you can get with 2.99 APR financing, or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma for $269 a month. Get your Tacoma now during Toyota Truck Month. Toyota, let's go places. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealer has all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way, including more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the adventurous Toyota RAV4. It's been America's best-selling SUV for the past 8 years. Now with 4.75 APR financing. Or lease a new 25 RAV4 from just $309 a month. Get all you need at your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, let's go places. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way. Now, during Toyota Truck Month, They've got more all-wheel drive choices, like the legendary 4Runner, the world-renowned Land Cruiser, the trail-dominating Tacoma, or this powerful new 25 Tundra with $3,000 customer cash or 1.75 APR financing. Or lease this Tundra for just $409 a month. Now during Toyota Truck Month. Toyota, let's go places.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. This is apparently something you do in Louisville, Kentucky. And here is something you will apparently see. McDonald's mascot or an ugly, twisted expression of a person's face, typically expressing disgust, pain, or wry amusement. It's Grimace. Take a look at the first half highlights. They walked down the stairs, and it was a really combative first half. We skip ahead to the 31st minute, and Taylor Davila unloads.
The pressure for Lou City was really influential early in this match. They wanted to squeeze this game and keep it in their attacking half. Good strike from Taylor Davila, forcing a no-nonsense save from Saldana to push it up and over the crossbar. But coming into this game, it was all about set pieces, and it was all about transitional moments. That was going to be the key for Danny Cruz, that trying to negate it against Detroit City. Jay Chapman does a fantastic job at flicking it on and crashing towards that second post, widely unmarked. Devin Amumensa puts the ball in the back of the net, 1-0 in favor of the 8 seed.
Take a look at the halftime statistics, and if you're Louisville, only 5 shots from the possession you did have. You don't see fouls there, but well, these teams really beat each other up pretty badly, didn't they?
It was very stop and start, very physical, and the first half didn't really get in any sort of rhythm, and that is exactly what Detroit City would have wanted when they do play away from home. For Danny Cruz, it's going to come down to players playing in half pockets of space, expecting Detroit City to be very compact, so ball tempo and movement will be top priority.
Fouls 8-6, Louisville 8, Detroit 6, only 14 in the first half. Bev Yanez is here, the head coach for Racing Louisville, taking in the sights. You will often on Thursdays find Bev with Danny Cruz and James O'Connor, the club president, sitting in a corner office, and they have both described to me what an incredible sort of collection of coaching minds being together for half an hour a week can sort of allow you to explain where you're at personally, where your team is at, give each other ideas, and it's a pretty awesome soccer holdings relationship that Racing and Lou City have. Racing, of course, plays tomorrow on NWSL Decision Day. If they win, Bev Yanez will pilot them to the playoffs for the first time.
Talk about a second half run of Racing Louisville. They did a fantastic job in NWSL, and that's exactly what you want. Matters in your own hand, the ability to control your destiny for Racing Louisville.
Emma Sears coming off a hat trick with the U.S. national team this week, should be featuring in that game. It'll be a lot of fun. That's tomorrow. This is tonight. Detroit with a lead, 1-0. Amu Mensah will circle back. So I think I know the basic tenor and tone of the Louisvillian conversation. What do you think Danny Dicchio told Detroit?
You have to find the balance of understanding, yes, we can be expansive, but the last thing that you want to have happen is just invite that amount of pressure, right? You have to have the ability to get on the ball, to show a bit of personality, because this Lou City side has shown over the course of the regular season how good they are at grinding out results, at finding the back of the net. So how do you do that? You take the game away from them, but you also have to have the ability to suffer. So now you find that balance for Detroit City and Danny Dicchio, and that's going to be important.
4 straight playoff appearances. They earned their first home playoff game, the 3rd place finish last year. They got their first playoff win in 2023 over Pittsburgh. Joined the championship 4 years ago, and this would probably be the crowning achievement of that time within the league. Louisville, 16 games unbeaten. This their 11th year in the championship. Last year, the first time they did not reach the Eastern Conference Final. The whistle is against McFadden. Spare a penny for that guy's thoughts.
Good turn.
These sides met at the end of September. very tightly contested game at Keyworth Stadium in Detroit. Danny Cruz said there's really nothing to take away from that game for Louisville, in the sense that on a smaller pitch, playing in that atmosphere, on that surface, and with the players involved, he was asking a different, more pragmatic style of football than perhaps they'd hoped to have played tonight. But Detroit has done a phenomenal job of playing this game on their terms. Lambert leading Goodrum, only 9 touches in the first half for Philip Goodrum, 7th leading scorer in the regular year. Outside to Amadou Dia. Dia crafts the cross. Amu Mensah into the air. Goodrum settles, end line, cut back, away from Williams, skews high. Tosh trotting across the field. A tug inside the penalty area. There is no ability to go back and look at that again. You could argue it was a meaningless tug, and in that sense would have been a harsh penalty to give.
As this ball comes across the left side of your screen, Amadou Dia comes in. Would have been extremely harsh to point to 12 yards out for Greg Dopka. It's a good no call. Dia goes down far too easily, leaving his legs inviting the contact. It's a correct call.
Yamazaki spared the discussion, and now the throw for Detroit City. Wheat, now Yamazaki. Smith, flustered by Dia. Detroit started with 5 wins in their first 7 games, had just 4 in their final 23. Battered and bruised, injuries galore. And to the surprise of nobody, if they got into the playoffs, they would be a lot to handle tonight, and they have been. No Ben Morris. Connor Rutz, Cello Polisi had played well for them. Reese Williams, their goalkeeper of the last month and a half, Carlos Herrera, although ultimately he about 50-50 split the games with Saldana this year. Their captain, Stephen Carroll, dealing with a knee knock, is available off the bench. Villanueva just getting back, the outside back. The throw coming for Josh Jones. Gets to take it a little closer now.
You mentioned the last time these two teams met, end of September. It was a very similar location where Lou City found the goal. They elected to go short, actually, and find Tosh at that back post. That is something that Danny Dico is going to have well worked into terms of his side.
Davila nodding, has an errant clearance. Jones did get the cross away, but it flutters out over the end line. This portion of tonight's match presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. The psyche of a goalkeeper is so intriguing. Saldana and Herrera back and forth throughout the year, and that's exactly what Danny Dichio promised. He said at the beginning of the year, I said, you're going to vie for the spot, make my job difficult. How do you replace a walking legend in Detroit? And Nathan Steinwasser was certainly that. Ultimately, they did it by committee. But is there a guy you're just a little more freaked out about if you're an opponent than a guy who's sort of got a little cup magic in his veins? Detroit also without Abdoulaye Diop tonight, who just got back from injury. Such a vital piece.
There's a different type of profile for Danny Dichio in that central location. You have Jay Chapman, Ryan Williams, very similar that they both want to get on the ball. They're both two-way players. Diop gives you those legs, the ability to run in behind and stretch the game, but also very technically sound as well. Jay Chapman, Ryan Williams doing a good job through 53 minutes here, just finding the balance between the two of them and mucking up the game essentially.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Dia. Eyeballing Goodrum. His frustration becoming more evident.
Just need to be smarter if you are Amadou Dia. Just look at the size of Detroit City's back line. You need to play Philip Goodrum into his feet. Let him get a clean first touch. Let him just lean on Almumensa or Michael Bryant, and then you allow Davila Lambert to come underneath Serrano and Wilson. Just a bit too predictable right now when Lou City does go forward.
Adams. Tosh. Dia. Adams long. Bryant repels. Davila works off Lambert. McFadden. Really got something on this to stem off transition.
Evident frustration from Maynard McFadden. As he does come centrally, Jansen Wilson needs to provide the width and stay wide open in the passing lane. Just no options going forward when McFadden picks up that ball.
Is it another empty night for Louisville City? The one team that they really seemed to struggle with last year was Rhode Island. They beat them here in the regular season, then beat them again in the second round of the playoffs. Staggering end to a Shield winning season with 24 wins in 34 games. This year, 22 wins in 30 games, the points per game record. A Detroit team that you swept, but it always felt like it was a tough matchup. Detroit 35 minutes away. Ball lofted into the area and will run wide of Saldana and awaiting Ray Serrano. That was shot through the area by McFadden, and Serrano is nearly on the receiving end.
But it's better recognition here from Jansen Wilson. McFadden provides it with. Jansen Wilson comes centrally, and now the whole field starts to open up. I love the aggressive nature. Second touch allows you to generate enough power, you can just run into it. A little bit of cause of concern for Saldana as he's coming across towards his far post.
Send long. Goodrum trying to go against three. Saldana sweeps it away. Into Lambert. Reversed and now served. Dia drops it off. Back heel seeking Davila. The run out is on for Detroit. Played forward by Cedeno. Well done by Jones. He was on an island.
Needed to get it right and did just that. Fantastic timing from Josh Jones.
Davila. Play on. Two wrongs do make a right. McFadden down into the width. But that wrong has no way of coming back.
Just notice the body position from Jones. How he's forcing Darren Smith away from goal. And as he leaves his feet, all the ball, none of the player. Perfect example why Danny Cruz, I feel that he's a player that's taken the biggest steps in terms of his progression over the course of this season, Josh Jones.
We apologize for the fruity language. Adams, Serrano, Davila, Lambert, Wilson, overlap, McFadden. It is a Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City, just shy of an hour. It was a set piece on this end that Devin Onwu-Mensah pierced the net with. Diouf, easy work.
Starting to find a little bit of a rhythm in central locations. Lou City is Taylor Dowler on the ball, Lambert as well. So that also allows Jansen Wilson and Ray Serrano to find those half pockets of space, which is something we did not see in the first 45 minutes. It's been a nice little stretch for the home side here.
Another Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City. Louisville made no changes at the half. They may be making changes in a moment. Davila. Wilson. Davila, second effort. Again, soars high to Serrano. Switching the point, Diouf forced it wide. Into the penalty area again. Lambert will track it down for Louisville. Dia available wide. Dia hits the service. Header back over the spot, cleared by Detroit. Detroit turning away, effort after effort, without much perspiration. Serrano.
Great ball.
Finds the back post, lofted back through. It's narrowly high. And here come the changes. It'll be a trio for Louisville. That is Alex Villanueva coming in for Detroit. And for Louisville, Adrian Perez, Manny Perez unavailable tonight, Sam Gleedle and Brian Omby. Diouf exits for Detroit. And here's the surprise. Dia, Serrano, and Philip Goodrum coming off. Substitutions are brought to you by the Kentucky Lottery. Funding imagination, fueling education, the Kentucky Lottery.
With Gleedle in particular, he's going to give you verticality. He's going to give you work rate, the ability to stretch this game and really threaten in behind. Brian Ownby, talk what he's meant to Blue City and their success, really to play in between lines, but can also spin and occupy the two center backs. And Adrian Perez, a player that I think is going to come into this game and provide a real impact. Comfortable in tight spaces, likes to combine. Left footer playing the right-hand side, so he's always going to challenge centrally. You have a little bit of a numerical overload in central locations now for Lou City.
Header back from an offside position from Smith. And just not Goodrum's night, right?
Difficult for Philip Goodrum to find himself into this game and make a positive impact. As a number 9, when you're playing against such a physical backline that wants to be compact, that wants to be combative, you have to find ways to impact the game when you're not on the ball. Your work rate, selfless types of movements, playing players out of position. Philip Goodrum had a difficult time doing that.
All the while, Villanueva missed the last 2 games for Detroit. And will come in with about half an hour Try and see the game out. Player who's featured wide midfield and as a wide forward, as well as a wing back. So it gives you some versatility as you move forward. Bring off to you a more attacking player. Davila serves, skids high. Watch out, Smith is powering, trying to get in behind. Recovered by Adams. Hey, if you can't watch the match, turn on SiriusXM FC 157. It's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on SiriusXM FC 157 and the still new SiriusXM app. Perez. The angle was good. Here's Loss. Service forward seeking Ownby. Retreating header. Mizaki further. Covered by Louisville. Davila forward. Ownby. Davila. Crowds become impatient. Lest the players do the same. From the width, service across toward Jansen Wilson. Jones comes pouring forward. Adams nods it down. Davila back into the width. Galito toward Lambert.
Back-to-back actions that Galito's put in. Quality service. And again, suffocating this game, Louisville City is.
And nothing to show for it yet. One shot on target, a stinging 25-yard effort in the first half from Taylor Davila. Service up into the air. Ownby! Oh, Saldana! What? What was that? Unreal.
What a phenomenal save this is. Good ball in from Tosh, and that is difficult from Brian Ownby. Going away from goal, two players on his backside, but a phenomenal save from Saldana, full extension.
I'm telling you, there's something different about Saldana in a cup game. 5-5 corner for Louisville. Contact galore inside the area. High arcing service. Lambert tries to nod it back. Falls kindly. Gleedle caught by Saldana. To win one of these games, you typically need one or two of these moments.
Just pull something out of nothing. Just notice the body position. He's already leaning the other way. To come back, full extension, reach behind him.
That's one of the best saves I've seen all year.
So impressive. So impressive from Saldana to keep this thing 1-0.
Ownby, coming back from a brutal leg injury, scored the goal that ultimately sealed the shield for Louisville City and had a chance to draw them on level terms. One of the longest tenured players on the squad and the captain of the team whenever he is, in fact, on the field. Mamu Mensah, who scored the goal for Detroit. Are we seeing something historic? Just over 8,000 in Louisville tonight. If Detroit finishes the job, they would go to either Pittsburgh or Hartford for the conference semifinals next week. Ownby trying to juggle between two players, appealing that that hit something. It did. Corner.
Brian Ownby has changed the complexion of this game for Louisville City with his ability to play in between lines. Notice the spacing that he's picking up. Off the shoulder of Chapman, between Amumenza and Michael Bryant, and just so comfortable in tight spaces. Well done for Brian Ownby.
Corner, Jones, the target. Perez calmly, Jansen Wilson. Serves up, speared away, Yamazaki. And Louisville has owned the ball down in this end for the better part of 5 minutes. Adams, now Gleedle. Ball through, Amumensa up and above.
The amount of pressure that Detroit City has been under, Dan Dico needs to be proud of the box defending and positioning that he's seen over the last 5 minutes from his side.
Another 5-5 corner kick. Wilson, front post run, and Detroit with a force field. The run out is on, the numbers are decent. Cedeno picks it up. Ultimately, that one divisive ball never arrived.
You need to play Darren Smith there if you are Cedeno. You need to put it out in front of him. The problem with Cedeno is on his right foot. Didn't feel as confident as just to wrap it around.
Bounding ball driven away by Wheat. The other corresponding Eastern Conference quarterfinal is in stoppage time and remains at 0-0. Pittsburgh and Hartford. The winner would either host Detroit, or if Louisville finds their way back in, they would have to travel to Louisville. If Louisville goes down, the road to the final would run through Charleston. They play tomorrow against Rhode Island. Should they go down, then the final would run through Tulsa, Oklahoma, who won the West. And if they go down, it's Sacramento. I can do this all night. Jones. Probing. Adams. Detroit so tightly wound with 20 minutes to go. Stepping forward, Tosh. Slips it ahead. And a foul from a stepping Brian Ownby, trying to keep that in front of him. And a yellow card for the recently inserted forward.
It's clever from Sean Tosh. Acts like he's going to pull the trigger, invites two Detroit City players and tries to slip in Brian Ownby, but really well read from Michael Bryant, who's had himself a really good game at the center of the back three. Steps in as Brian Ownby's a little bit late to recognize. And he sees the first yellow card, surprisingly, of this game.
That's such a fair point. Injured player for Detroit. We take a peek on what's going on in Pittsburgh right now along the banks of the Monongahela River. Hartford, one of the most impressive second halves of any team in the championship, won the Jägermeister Cup, their first trophy. Taking on a Pittsburgh side who 2 years ago felt the wrath of this very Detroit team. Went through a rather turbulent second half. Change, Cedeno coming off. And Kobe Hernandez Foster coming in. Darren Smith replaced by Jordan Adebayo Smith. Substitutions are brought to you by the Kentucky Lottery. Funding imagination, fueling education, the Kentucky Lottery. Subs 2 and 3 for Detroit. You look down their bench and they're a little bit thin. Stephen Carroll dealing with injury, Matt Sheldon, and Sebastian Guinzotti remain.
Two smart subs from Danny Dico in Adebayo Smith in particular. He's going to give you that vertical and outlet. So every single time Detroit City receives the ball, they're going to play direct. They're going to try to run in behind. And Kobe Hernandez Foster is going to give you a little bit more of the defensive side of the ball versus Cedeno, So expect him to sit right in between Jay Chapman and Ryan Williams at just trying to clog passing lanes and more importantly, try to win second duels in that central location.
Cecile Cedeno earned a silly yellow card on the way off. He took the longest, most circuitous route possible off the field. Yellow card for time wasting. Well, Louisville, the 2025 USL Championship title would run through Lynn Family Stadium. Lou City would play every playoff game at home. Tickets available, loucity.com/playoffs. I promise you, none of these players are thinking about how they distribute tickets. They have their lives flashing before their eyes right now. And if you think Louisville maybe got fat and happy from winning the Shield again, go sit in a film session with Danny Cruz and the staff at Lou City. There was a point 6-8 weeks ago. He said, I looked around to the players and I go, do these guys just think I'll never be satisfied? Long throw into the area. Danny Cruz, upon winning the Shield for a second time, took a picture with only one person, his son. Refused to hold it or take pictures with it with the players. Such the case with bitter disappointment from a year ago. So two players actually took a cookie tin and wrote 2025 Shield in frosting on it. Give him a somewhat equivalent experience, I suppose. McFadden is offside. Well, this is Louisville putting their final two cards on the table for regulation with 15 minutes remaining. Jake Morris, who's dealt with injury throughout the season, and the club's most vibrant scorer, Cameron Lancaster, hero of championship runs past, reacquired from Lexington mid-season, seeks his 90th goal with the club. And it could save Louisville's season.
As Jake Moore comes in as well, he's going to give you that natural outside back with a wand of a left foot, which will push Aiden McFadden next to Jones and Tosh within that back three. Cameron Lancaster, what a moment this could be for legend in the USL Championship. Come on, he's going to play as high as he possibly can and occupy the three center backs of Detroit City.
They played with different shapes, different personnel, more or less every game, knowing that a night like tonight could happen. Did all that work throughout the year, set them up for a monumental comeback. Williams has been excellent tonight.
What a shift that Ryan Williams has put in on and off the ball. Flawless in his positioning, decision-making, big-time performance needed for Danny Dichio in Detroit City in that center midfield role.
Davila pokes it forward, Lancaster wide, Ombi, Perez. Morris keeps it alive, sweeps it on to Tosh. Pittsburgh and Hartford is headed to extra time. 0-0 still. Hartford has won just 2 of 17 against the Hounds all time. They'll need 30 more minutes at least, with the threat of penalties looming. Detroit would go to Pittsburgh or Hartford if they see this out. belief. I said, how do you achieve the feat twice in 3 years? He wasn't there for the first, Danny Dicchio. He paused and he said, belief. They believe now.
Also said they need to be willing to suffer. They need to sacrifice. This second half has been that and more. All 11 players behind the ball yet again, quickly getting in their defensive shell. Show of willingness here for Detroit City just to grind out and dig in deep.
Jones. Fadden. Bypasses Lambert. Morris kept it in. McFadden pops it in toward Lancaster. Trying to chop his way free. McFadden turns down the run of Omby to play this across. Gleedle. Gleedle goes down. It is outside the penalty area. It is a foul. It is not a penalty. A free kick and a yellow card to LaFleur.
The first time that we've seen a Lou City player show the bravery and the courage just to go at an opposing player. Really good feet from Gleedle as he shifts it from right to left. If you are being away, there's no need. You don't need to win this ball. You do not need to dive in. Just move your feet, make him play negative, force him wide. Well done from Sam Gleedle to draw a contact and give Lou City a really interesting location from this free kick.
And it was actually the outstretched leg of Villanueva that made the contact. He and LaFleur side by side. Fifth, third free kick. It's in the realm of possibility for Adrian Perez, don't doubt it. Adrian Perez. That kind of night.
This needs to be on target from Adrian Perez. You have to aim towards that back post area, let the traffic run on any sort of direction, redirection. It's a nightmare for Saldana. The last thing that you can have happen is what just happened. Let it go over the crossbar, not allowing your teammates to make a play in this ball.
This is the fourth sub and third window for Detroit. So should this finish in the 90, Sebastian Guinzotti and Matt Sheldon left out. Yamazaki off, and the longest tenured active captain in Detroit pro sports, Stephen Carroll, into the game. They have had to manage him dating back to a 2-month layoff due to knee surgery. Started a few games, and ultimately these last 2 weeks has played only about 15 minutes and immediately called upon.
Now you have 4 center backs to see this game out for Danny Dicchio. Shane Wheat's going to push wide and play as the wing back. But just tells you the mentality for the remainder of 10 minutes here. Good pocket from Jay Chapman.
Somewhere Michael Bryant's going, yeah, I mean, kind of a center back. Was Villanueva who got the bone dry roofing yellow card at the edge of the penalty area a moment ago. Kobe Hernandez Foster, the midseason acquisition from Birmingham, swats back at McFadden, who tackled him.
Sort of coming together. The right arm of Aiden McFadden. Kobe Hernandez Foster does not take kindly to it. Notice how it just almost wraps around that shoulder area and pulls him down. The last thing that you can afford, especially if you are Danny Dicchio, is to get to pull into anything silly and leave your side at a disadvantage.
Louisville up against the ropes. Can Detroit put them to bed? Villanueva overran it. Detroit would go to Pittsburgh or Hartford pending that result if they finish this out. Crowd, full-throated support now. Louisville enter the final third. Gleedle spins. Perez awaits. Perez. Blockade of white shirts. Circulates to Tosh. Hammers it across. McFadden. McFadden for Omby! Second time Brian Omby has got his head to the ball atop the 6-yard box.
Really good pocket of space. Ryan Omi picks up off the shoulder of Carroll right in front of Amumenta. Just unable to go and attack this ball, mistimes his jump. If you just hold off your run and meet it, then you can just attack the ball. As he's leaning back, the ball's bending away. Difficult technique to redirect it on target.
Back-to-back shields. The expectation could have been crippling. It felt loose at training this week. The added excitement of the postseason. Detroit is about to pop this bubble in a way that few anticipated. There's a quiet confidence to Danny Dicchio whenever you speak to him. I spoke to him, the team had not yet qualified 3 weeks ago. They didn't qualify until the last day of the regular season. It was because Indy failed to gain the full 3 points in Orange County in the last game after they had finished. He said, as a former DJ in your playing career, what songs would you utilize to describe where your team is right now? He said either between a rock and a hard place or unfinished symphony. I think the latter is going to be more accurate if they finish this. McFadden. Detroit slink down in the final third. Ball ahead. Skims over to Morris. Lashes across. McFadden square. Tosh. How to find a way to pierce the armor of Detroit. Davila takes on Villanueva. Villanueva forced him away. Service popped across. Ball lobbed back across the face. Falls kindly. Ladled off. Shot is deflected. May have caught an arm. Play on. Morris trying to catch up to this. And finally the referee says it's a foul on Jake Morris. Talk about sacrificing. About putting your body on the line.
Nervy moments here from Saldana. If you do come off of your line, you need to punch this ball up and away. But as Lou City has about 3 opportunities, just the extra effort. First, it's Amumenta, Villanueva, and notice Ryan Williams, not once, but right there twice. As there's a little bit of a push in the back from Jake Morris, no need. But Ryan Williams has covered every single blade of grass on this field. Phenomenal performance.
You could easily say the Saldana save on Brian Omby is the play of this game, but the player of this game could well be Ryan Williams. Up into the stands. 4 minutes in stoppage time separate us from one of the greatest upsets in league history. Drops down to McFadden. Davila, that'll deflect. Run out for a corner. Too early to bring your goalkeeper still.
Not the initial ball in. The secondary wave can really be influential for this Lou City side as Jake Morris is sitting right on top of the 18-yard box, same as Sam Guido.
There are worse options than Jake Morris having a go from that range. Davila. Morris will circulate and touch too heavy. And now Saldana will take his time. They'd be the first club to ever do this twice. They have never won in Louisville in 5 tries. That's all about to change. They finished with 8 consecutive opponents that reached the postseason, and it would have been a 9th had Tampa Bay defeated them. They were battle tested, even if they only got 1 win in that span. back, Loss did enough. Morris peers over his shoulder. And again, lost that to the line. And they're going to bring it back to a foul on Colby Hernandez Foster. Wow.
The argument for Detroit City is that this ball does, in fact, go over the end line, the sideline. It appears that it does. Give us a better look at it here. The whole ball needs to be out of play. Difficult.
I mean, the ball's clear. Yeah, the ball's out.
Yeah.
That's not a question.
It should be Detroit City ball.
With 100 seconds to go. Plus stoppage time, of which there should be a decent amount. Loss and Davila combined to put it in play. Davila cranks service across, up for Ombi. Circulates outside, Perez will keep it in. Perez, service, header, up, and away from the line. Bounces inside the area. And a chance to run out for Detroit, perhaps. And a vital intervention from McFadden. And they say it belongs to Louisville on the throw. The Detroit bench is incensed. 90th minute now. Karam's back, ball across toward Lancaster, falls, McFadden. That got blocked, this time by Chapman. McFadden overran it. Williams got it away. And now the whistle blows, it's a foul on Louisville. Precious time ticks away. Detroit's odds grow that much bigger.
Good ball to this back post from Adrian Perez, and now the chaos ensues. As this ball comes in, all Tosh is trying to do is put it into a dangerous area, and it's Michael Bryant at the doorstep. Takes the contact as well. Danny Dico clearly not happy.
Stoppage time presented by Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. 6 minutes separate Detroit from the upset of all upsets. Louisville said they would not be bullied again after their loss to Rhode Island. Detroit came in and punched them in the mouth in the opening 10 minutes. McFadden, curling header, Ombi above. That was a fascinating ball, one that Ombi was just trying to take the luster off.
Brian Ombi is picking up some really good spots in between two center backs, and as this ball's coming in, just gets a little bit underneath it. You just need to help it on. As you try to get too much on it, you get the right angle, goes up and over the crossbar, but Michael Bryant livid with momentum. Needs to have the better rotation at passing players off. That's about the third time Brian Ombi has got in between the center backs of Detroit.
How many real chances remain? A throw for Louisville. I'd imagine the lion's share of this game will be on their terms now. Do they have that one moment in them? This two-time reigning Shield winner, regular season behemoth, Ombi. Curls inside. Off to McFadden. Turned away by Adebayo Smith. Morris inverts, sweeps back to McFadden. Onto his right, squares. Ball up from Davila and away from Lambert. Picked up by Tosh. That was blocked. Over to Davila. Back over. The header toward Jones falls to Morris. Corner. Now it's time to get everyone forward.
Take a deep breath here if you are Jake Morris. You're looking for quality. You do not need to go quick. With the amount of traffic right in front of Saldana, your desired location is right on top of that 6-yard box.
Detroit on a set piece from Amu Mensah in the 34th. Service forward, Saldana punches away. Damian Loss crashing into Saldana, who's peeling himself up. Another corner. A 5-5 corner for Louisville City. Halfway through stoppage time nearly now. The service over Loss, punched away by Saldana. Loss got caught in the net on the other side of the field.
Phenomenal goalkeeping as well from Saldana. 2 times that he's commanded his 6-yard box. Very convincing.
Saldana again punches away, falls to Gleedle, pops it back over. Morris tried to take it on the first time. The first half of stoppage time has eluded Louisville City. Detroit remains with the advantage still. A reminder to Saldana from Greg Dopka that time wasting at this stage of the game will hurt as much as it helps.
Saldana's been massive as well between the sticks. You talk about that. SportsCenter top 10 save. The last 3 actions here, commanding his 6-yard box, exactly what you need from a goalkeeper in this hostile environment with the amount of traffic, decisiveness when you do step off of your line.
That save from Saldana, is that as good as you've seen in the championship all year?
Yes.
Has to be.
Has to be. Just so impressive.
Denied Brian Ownby on the back set header. That was nearly half an hour ago now. 2 minutes remain. Ball into the box toward Jones. Referee's not calling that. McFadden spots the run up the line. Morris across. Pinballs around. Out for a throw with 90 seconds.
But again, Ryan Williams, the recognition of space to drop down and cut out this ball.
Morris again. First ball away out of Bio Smith trying to bring it in. No use chasing now, batten down the hatches. Up toward Williams. Tries to bring it down. Lancaster skirting free. Lancaster! Is that it? Is that it? Has Detroit withstood the storm? And has Louisville City gone out in as shocking a fashion as this league can provide? More points per game than any team in championship history. Back-to-back shields for the second time in the league's modern era. Is it one set-piece goal that boots them out of the postseason on the first night? Header forward, Ownby tries to claim, lashed back toward halfway, and now we're down to last chance. Is it a singular final gasp for Louisville City? Can Detroit repel just one more time? We've played the 6 minutes. Davila's got to get it forward. He chips it ahead. Bouncing past Ownby and out! If any club was going to do it, if any team could believe, is it one final kick? They allow it to continue. A throw for Louisville. Is there any time remaining? No! It's over! Detroit City! Lightning strikes twice! The 8-1 upset for the second time in 3 years. And they knock out the Shield winner on the opening night of the playoffs. No one believed in Detroit except for Detroit. Devin Amu-Mensah, the goal scorer. Carlos Saldana with one of the best saves of his career. It's what it takes to knock out Louisville City and end a 4-month, 16-game unbeaten run. One of the most staggering upsets in championship history.
This was about a belief for Detroit City to come into Lynn Family Stadium and play against Lou City, who had a record-breaking regular season. Not X and O's willingness to drop down, to suffer, to sacrifice, and more importantly, to look around that locker room and say, we can get this job done. What a personality check this is for Detroit City as they advance into the next round of the playoffs.
They set the tone in the game's opening 15 minutes. A rough and tumble style that Detroit City was more than confident would take Louisville out of their element, and now they've taken them out of the playoffs. An 8-1 upset in the Eastern Conference. The Shield winner is out. We'll try and wrap our heads around it after this.
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way. Now, during Toyota Truck Month, they've got more all-wheel drive choices like the legendary 4Runner, the world-renowned Land Cruiser, the powerful Tundra, or this best-selling 25 Tacoma, which you can get with 2.99 APR financing, or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma for $269 a month. Get your Tacoma now during Toyota Truck Month. Toyota, let's go places. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way. Now, during Toyota Truck Month, they've got more all-wheel drive choices like the legendary 4Runner, the world-renowned Land Cruiser, the trail-dominating Tacoma, or this powerful new 25 Tundra with $3,000 customer cash or 1.75 APR financing. Or lease this Tundra for just $409 a month. Now, during Toyota Truck Month. Toyota, let's go places. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealer has all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way, including more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the adventurous Toyota RAV4. It's been America's best-selling SUV for the past 8 years. Now with 4.75 APR financing. Or lease a new 25 RAV4 from just $309 a month. Get all you need at your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, let's go places.
We're at the time of the year that they talk about for a long time in Detroit. Danny Dicchio 3 weeks ago. They get in on the last day. They need help from Louisville's chief rival to do so. And then they go to Louisville and provide the shock upset that sets the tone for this postseason. A record.
City.
Well, a number I heard often this year from Louisville was we lost to a team in the playoffs who finished 25 points beneath us, and that's the cruel nature of the postseason and an acknowledgement that their defense needed to take a step. Tonight, they just lost to a team 36 points beneath them on the table, and they are the first team to qualify for the next round, Ricky. Unbelievable.
Just unbelievable what this Detroit City side did. No one believed it. No one thought it was possible. Only all the players on this roster, the three players in that locker room, Danny Dico instilled belief, he instilled a motivation, and he instilled a little bit of a fire for this Detroit City side, and expect them to continue with the momentum.
And none of those fans that drove 5 long hours through the rain will hate that they were here for it, nor did they ever say they didn't believe. Danny Dico and Detroit advance. Danny Cruz and Louisville, their season ends. A phenomenal campaign, but it falls short of the ultimate target, and the playoffs have begun. For Ricky Lopez, Aspen, our entire team in Louisville and beyond, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching, and so long. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amumensa. Devin Amumensa scores for Detroit. The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amumensa. Devin Amumensa scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning. And of all the players you would have bet on for Detroit City, the face of the franchise. The road support loves it. Detroit's ahead. The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amumensa. Devin Amumensa scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning. The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amu-Mensah. Devin Amu-Mensah scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning. And of all the players you would have bet on for Detroit City, the face of the franchise. The road support loves it. Detroit's ahead. The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amu-Mensah. Devin Amu-Mensah scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning. And of all the players you would have bet on for Detroit City, the face of the franchise. The road support loves it. Detroit's ahead.
Set pieces, so important in a playoff setting, but you have to give credit to Jake Chapman. Understands that as he's this far away, he's not going to beat Damian Loster. He just needs to help it off.
The club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amu-Mensah. Devin Amu-Mensah scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Stunning. And of all the players you would have bet the club last year and then a late arrival this year. Williams hits the service, header across, knocked in, Devin Amu-Mensah. Devin Amu-Mensah scores for Detroit. And the 8 seed leads the 1. 20 minutes to go. Stepping forward, Tosh slips it ahead. And a foul from a stepping Brian Ownby, trying to keep that in front of him, and a yellow card for the recently inserted forward. 20 minutes to go. Stepping forward, Tosh slips it ahead. And a foul from a stepping Brian Ownby, trying to keep that in front of him, and a yellow card for the recently inserted forward. 20 minutes to go. Stepping forward, Tosh slips it ahead. And a foul from a stepping Brian Ownby, trying to keep that in front of him, and a yellow card for the recently inserted forward. 20 minutes to go. Stepping forward, Tosh slips it ahead. And a foul from a stepping Brian Ownby, trying to keep that in front of him, and a yellow card for the recently inserted forward.
Deco in out of Bio Smith in particular, he's going to give you that vertical and outlet. So every single time Detroit City receives the ball, they're going to play direct. They're going to try to run in behind. And Deco in out of Bio Smith in particular, he's going to give you that vertical and outlet. So every single time Detroit City receives the ball, they're going to play direct. They're going to try to run in behind. And Deco in out of Bio Smith in particular, he's going to give you that vertical and outlet. So every single time Detroit City receives the ball, they're going to play direct. They're going to try to run in behind. And Deco in out of Bio Smith in particular, he's going to give you that vertical and outlet. So every single time Detroit City receives the ball, they're going to play direct. They're going to try to run in behind. And
Gleedle. Gleedle goes down. It is outside the penalty area. It is a foul. It is not a penalty. A free kick and a yellow card to LaFleur.
The first time that we've seen a
Gleedle. Gleedle goes down. It is outside the penalty area. It is a foul. It is not a penalty. A free kick and a yellow card to LaFleur.
The first time that we've seen a
Gleedle. Gleedle goes down. It is outside the penalty area. It is a foul. It is not a penalty. A free kick and a yellow card to LaFleur.
The first time that we've seen a
Gleedle. Gleedle goes down. It is outside the penalty area. It is a foul. It is not a penalty. A free kick and a yellow card to LaFleur.
The first time that we've seen a aggressive in their positioning for Detroit City.
LaFleur. A jagged run through. Isaiah LaFleur cuts it back and fires. Deflects en route to Damian Loss. LaFleur coming off his first championship goal last week.
Feeling to go 1v1, but notice this little step over and how much space it aggressive in their positioning for Detroit City.
LaFleur. A jagged run through. Isaiah LaFleur cuts it back and fires. Deflects en route to Damian Loss. LaFleur coming off his first championship goal last week.
Feeling to go 1v1, but notice this little step over and how much space it aggressive in their positioning for Detroit City.
LaFleur. A jagged run through. Isaiah LaFleur cuts it back and fires. Deflects en route to Damian Loss. LaFleur coming off his first championship goal last week.
Feeling to go 1v1, but notice this little step over and how much space it aggressive in their positioning for Detroit City.
LaFleur. A jagged run through. Isaiah LaFleur cuts it back and fires. Deflects en route to Damian Loss. LaFleur coming off his first championship goal last week.
Feeling to go 1v1, but notice this little step over and how much space it.
Wilson falls to Amu-Mensah. Trickling cross. Siphoned off. Davila! Up and over by Saldana. Davila sending a whistling, knuckling shot that Saldana puts up over the ball. Wilson falls to Amu-Mensah. Trickling cross. Siphoned off. Davila! Up and over by Saldana. Davila sending a whistling, knuckling shot that Saldana puts up over the ball. Wilson falls to Amu-Mensah. Trickling cross. Siphoned off. Davila! Up and over by Saldana. Davila sending a whistling, knuckling shot that Saldana puts up over the ball. Wilson falls to Amu-Mensah. Trickling cross. Siphoned off. Davila! Up and over by Saldana. Davila sending a whistling, knuckling shot that Saldana puts up over the ball. Half from Taylor Davila. Service up into the air. Oh, me! Oh, Saldana! What? What was that? Unreal.
What a phenomenal
half from Taylor Davila. Service up into the air. Oh, me! Oh, Saldana! What? What was that? Unreal.
What a phenomenal
half from Taylor Davila. Service up into the air. Oh, me! Oh, Saldana! What? What was that? Unreal.
What a phenomenal
half from Taylor Davila. Service up into the air. Oh, me! Oh, Saldana! What? What was that? Unreal.
What a phenomenal.
Villanueva forced him away. Service popped across. Ball lobbed back across the face. Falls kindly. Ladled off. Shot is deflected. May have caught an arm. Play on. Morris trying to catch up to this. And finally the referee says it's a foul on Jake Morris. Talk about sacrificing. About putting your body on the line. Nervy. Villanueva forced him away. Service popped across. Ball lobbed back across the face, falls kindly, ladled off, shot is deflected, may have caught an arm, play on, Morris trying to catch up to this, and finally the referee says it's a foul on Jake Morris. Talk about sacrificing, about putting your body on the line. Nervy. Villanueva forced him away. Service popped across. Ball lobbed back across the face. Falls kindly. Ladled off. Shot is deflected. May have caught an arm. Play on. Morris trying to catch up to this. And finally the referee says it's a foul on Jake Morris. Talk about sacrificing, about putting your body on the line. Nervy. Villanueva forced him away. Service popped across. Ball lobbed back across the face. Falls kindly. Ladled off. Shot is deflected. May have caught an arm. Play on. Morris trying to catch up to this. And finally the referee says it's a foul on Jake Morris. Talk about sacrificing, about putting your body on the line. Nervy. Side Perez will keep it in. Perez. Service. Header. Up. And away from the line, bounces inside the area. And a chance to run out for Detroit, perhaps. Inside Perez will keep it in. Perez, service, header, up, and away from the line. Bounces inside the area. And a chance to run out for Detroit, perhaps. Inside Perez will keep it in. Perez, service, header, up, and away from the line. Bounces inside the area. And a chance to run out for Detroit, perhaps. Inside Perez will keep it in. Perez, service, header, up, and away from the line. Bounces inside the area. And a chance to run out for Detroit, perhaps. Lost to Rhode Island. Detroit came in and punched them in the mouth in the opening 10 minutes. McFadden, curling header, Omby above. That was a fascinating ball, one that Omby was just trying to take the luster off. Lost to Rhode Island. Detroit came in and punched them in the mouth in the opening 10 minutes. McFadden, curling header, Omby above. That was a fascinating ball, one that Omby was just trying to take the luster off. Lost to Rhode Island. Detroit came in and punched them in the mouth in the opening 10 minutes. McFadden, curling header, Omby above. That was a fascinating ball, one that Omby was just trying to take the luster off. Lost to Rhode Island. Detroit came in and punched them in the mouth in the opening 10 minutes. McFadden, curling header, Omby above. That was a fascinating ball, one that Omby was just trying to take the luster off. A Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City. Halfway through stoppage time nearly now. The service over Loss, punched away by Saldana. Loss got caught in the net on the other side of the field. A Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City. Halfway through stoppage time nearly now. The service over Loss, punched away by Saldana. Loss got caught in the net on the other side of the field. A Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City. Halfway through stoppage time nearly now. The service over Loss, punched away by Saldana. Loss got caught in the net on the other side of the field. A Wi-Fi corner for Louisville City. Halfway through stoppage time nearly now. The service over Loss, punched away by Saldana. Loss got caught in the net on the other side of the field. Remaining. No! It's over! Detroit City! Lightning strikes twice! The 8-1 upset for the second time in 3 years! And they knock out the Shield winner on the opening night of the playoffs! No one believed in Detroit except for Detroit. Devin Amu-Mensah, the goal scorer. Carlos Saldana with one of the best saves of his career. Remaining. No! It's over! Detroit City! Lightning strikes twice! The 8-1 upset for the second time in 3 years! And they knock out the Shield winner on the opening night of the playoffs! No one believed in Detroit except for Detroit. Devin Amu-Mensah, the goal scorer. Carlo, the 8-1 upset for the second time in 3 years. And they knock out the Shield winner on the opening night of the playoffs.
Just push it up and over. But we talked about set pieces and how do you grind out results in a hostile environment. Set fantastic ball in from Ryan Williams. Jay Chapman does a phenomenal job just trying to help it on. And this is all about Devin Amu-Mensah eluding his individual marker at that far post. And it's an easy tap in to give Detroit City the 1-0 lead early in this first half.
Did not score a goal all season, Amu-Mensah. Here's our move of the game presented by Toyota.
Phenomenal header from Brian.
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through
in championship history.
This was about a belief for Detroit.
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealer has all you need to pull you through the rain, snow, and mud that's headed our way, including more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the adventurous Toyota RAV4. It's been America's best-selling SUV for the past 8 years. Now with 4.75 APR financing. Or lease a new 25 RAV4 from just $309 a month. Get all you need at your Toyota. This time of year, it's all or nothing. And your Toyota dealers have all you need to pull you through.
They need help from Louisville's chief rival to do so. And then they go to Louisville and provide the shock upset that sets the tone for this postseason. A record-breaking season concludes for Louisville, and Detroit City will go to Pittsburgh.